Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondor and Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another 3rd Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. And this one is a very nice 3 versus 4 good versus evil defense, or rather siege of Tol Falas, and is going to be a themed battle of Umbar defending Tol Falas versus Gondor and Dol Amroth. So of course it would make a lot of sense, because the pirates of Umbar and the men of Gondor and Dol Amroth have been lifelong enemies. And this one was sent to me by Sin of the Dark Cloud, who of course is the lead, or one of the lead developers rather, of the Reforged mod. So a big thank you to him for sending me this replay. And I'm just going to go ahead and go into the army compositions right now, right as I load it into the replay, of course, because these units are not as spread out. Of course, I'm just going to be able to do it a lot easier. So, of course, we're going to be having 3 defending Umbar armies. They're going to be pretty similar. Sin of the Dark Cloud has got 1 unit of the Naru and Aru Sentinels, so some pretty elite, well-armored pikes, and he's got, I believe, 4 units of the Corsair pikemen. Very cheap, very lightly armored pikes, but as long as they are able to get set up well, they can do very well for themselves. He's only got 1 unit of the standard foot archers, that being the Aberzenim Nardu Bawid. He's also, though, does have a unit of Castmir's Rangers, of course, body piercing, as well as 2 units of the crossbow Corsairs and 2 units of the Corsair Blackguards. The Blackguards, of course, very deadly javelins, and also are not bad in melee. And all 4 of these front skirmishers, of course, can't hide anywhere. In addition to this, he's got 4 units of the very heavy infantry, that is the Castamir's Legion. He's got a unit of the Harbingers of Castamir. He's also got a catapult, a unit of the Warlords of Umbar for his general. And over here, he's also got a unit of the Naru Royal Guard, who are, of course, spear bow hybrids with 2 HP. And he also down here has a unit of the Numenorean Lancers, very, very swift AP Lancers that can do a lot of damage. However, they're not super great in melee against other cav. Now we can go up here to the first of his allies, which is, of course, going to be Roger that, playing as Umbar, and he's got of course going to be a very similar army. He's got some Aberzenim Nardu, I think 2 units of Aberzenim Narduzagar, who are some shock infantry. He's got some Castamir's Legion, his own Lancers, and he's actually got some Belagir archers, as well as the Naru and Aru Guard for his general. He's got his own Castamir's Rangers. It looks like he's got a couple units of the Aberzenim Nardu Tariq, as well, some AP Macemen, as well as some Numenorean Shield Guard, and of course the elite pikes. Got some more archers back here, so he definitely is going more archer heavy, although he does have his own javelins, as well as some more Castamir's Legion and more Aberzenim Nardu Tariq. However, as you can tell, this guy, or Roger that rather, is bringing a lot less pikes than the Sin of the Dark Cloud. And that's going to pretty much do it for his army. We'll see it more in greater detail, of course, once the battle actually does begin. And then we'll go over here to his next ally, or his final ally rather, who's going to be a Neo Denolko, of course, playing as Umbar. He's got some Shield Guard, he's got Rangers, he's got standard Belagir archers, as well as some crossbow Corsairs. He's got his own Belagir halberds, 2 units, I think, maybe of this Numenorean Shield Guard. He also has the elite pike, the Naru and Aru Sentinels, more halberds, more Shield Guard, some Aberzenim Narduzagar. He's also got some Castamir's Legion, some Harbingers of Castamir, a Ballista, some more Castamir's Legion. He's also actually got some Corsair Fencers, who are actually AP, and I don't know if they have 2 hit points. I think they do, but they're very, very skillful, but they don't have a ton of armor. He's got some more Narduzagar, as well as his own Warlords of Umbar. Pardon me, that was might be getting a little bit sick here. However, as you can tell, Tol Falas is a very, very large settlement, so it's going to be interesting to see where the defense is really going to be. Obviously, Neo Denolko will be defending this kind of portion of the city, but the middle player, the host, of course, well, if he's playing as defense, anyway, the host, I would assume, has the difficult task of deciding whether he wants to defend out here, like in this kind of little village, and then defend all the way across, including those bridges, or if he wants to kind of set up a little further back and then maybe go to his allies or not. And then, of course, the other Umbar player has to defend up here on this nice hill, as well as, of course, get down in the city. But that'll pretty much do it for the defending army comps, so I'll see you guys in just a bit for the attacking army comps. Alright, so now we can go into the attacking army comps. There are going to be 3 Dol Amroth armies, the first of which is going to be commanded by Fallen Morning Star, and he's got some Edhelm Men-at-Arms, as well as some Black Swan Vanguard up here at the front. He's got 2 units of the Black Swan Vanguard, of course, AP Macemen, going to be good against most of the Umbar heavily armored roster. He's got some more Men-at-Arms, and I believe he's got 2 or 3 units of the Dor Endernal Pikes, who should... Oh, he's actually got a lot more than 2 or 3. It looks like he might actually have like 4 or something. And, yes, the Dor Endernal Pikemen are pretty cheap, or pretty decent pikemen, but again, they do, of course, not have a shield, so they can get skirmished down pretty quickly. He's also got, it looks like, 2 units of the Belfast Marines, as well as 2 units of the Tirith Air Marksmen. He's got 2 units of the Talon Knights, who are 2 HP Sword and Shield Infantry that are elite, of course. He's got a unit of the Tarnostian Lancers, as well as the Haven Knights that are, of course, a melee cavalry with 2 HP. Very, very deadly against other cavalry, of course. He's got his own Haven Guard as well, and I'm pretty sure that does it for his army, although he will probably have some hidden rangers around here. The next army is going to be Gondor, commanded by Tundra's Fox. He's got a couple units of the Carandor Swordmasters, and also something I should mention is that towards the end of the replay, Sin did tell me that Tundra's Fox actually desynced, but it wasn't actually that big of a deal, thankfully, so we will see that later on. But anyway, he's got 2 units of the Carandor Swordmasters Shock Infantry, who I believe also actually inspire fear into their enemies, or instill fear, rather. He's up front, he's got, I believe 3 units of the Axemen of Lossarnach, or some cheap AP axes. It looks like they do have their armor upgrades, though, so they will be a little bit more heavily armored. He's got a couple units of the Pelargir Marines, and then up front here, he's got a lot of spears. He's got some upgraded Gondor Spearmen, as well as some Citadel Guard, who are, of course, very elite spears that are also AP. And then it looks like, yeah, he's just got a bunch of spears. He's got a couple units of the Ramus Ecor Garrison Archers. Really, really good pick for Gondor. A solid low-tier militia archer that is actually really, really cost-effective. He's also got a unit of upgraded Gondor Archers, and it looks like he's also got a couple units of pikes down here, that being the Guards of Osgiliath. And then on the other end, I think he has a couple units of the whatever they're called, Found Guard, whatever they're called. Very, very good, of course, halberds that are AP. We can now go to the next army, of course, which is going to be... Oh, actually, I take it back. It looks like he actually has a unit of the Nimlothian Honor Guard, as well as maybe the Wardens of the White Tower? Yeah, that's some Wardens of the White Tower and some Nimlothian Honor Guard. So some more elites back there as well. And then we've got the next Dol Amroth army, which is going to be commanded by Master Blaster. And again, these armies are going to be pretty similar to the other one. He's got some Swan Knights, who are, of course, melee cavalry. He's got some Edhelm Men-at-Arms. He's got Black Swan Vanguard, Talon Knights, Haven Guard. He's actually got a couple units of civilians. He's got some Tirthair Wardens, some upgraded pikemen, a couple units of javelins, some more spears, and some more macemen. And he also has a couple, I think only a couple units actually, of Edhelm Men-at-Arms, some more Talon Knights, and some Dol Amroth Swordsmen, as well as his Haven Knights, who are, of course, very deadly melee cav. And now this is going to be the final army, and it's going to be commanded by Yeet McGeet Jerry Seinfeld. I actually do kind of like that name, but yeah, he's going to be bringing, it looks like 3 units of Tirthair Marksmen, despite the fact that they do, the price cap is at 2. He's got a couple units of the Edhelm Halberds, he's got some Dornell Pikes, some Spears, and back here he's got a big mix of different kinds of troops. He's got some Haven Guard, Black Swan Vanguard, and then it looks like 3 units of the Mercenary Guildsmen, which is not a unit you see being brought too often. He's also got a catapult and actually a decent amount of cavalry, that being some Mercenary Cav, as well as a couple units of the Knights of the Silver Swan. But his army is kind of small, especially with all these Guildsmen, who are pretty cheap infantry. I'd assume he's probably got a hidden unit or 2 of Rangers around here. And you actually can attack the city through this bridge, but because of the way he's kind of set up, it looks like that is not what he's going to do. So Neodonilka will probably have to just leave a few units here to protect the bridge, and then move the rest of his units around to help out his allies. However, that will pretty much do it for the army comp, so we can go ahead and start the battle off anyway. And as you can see, the attackers are going to have a pretty long walk to the actual defense, so I may end up speeding this up, but first we can take a look at where the defenders have actually set up. You can see that Sin of the Dark Cloud has actually not elected to defend out here, or even a little bit further back. He's actually decided to go way back here, and he's actually going to be defending these 2 bridges and this entryway into the city. So looks like both Sin of the Dark Cloud as well as Neodonilka will be kind of defending this main portion of the settlement. But you can see a lot of Sin's forces are actually up here on this cliff face, including his catapult here. So it looks like this is mainly where he's going to be defending, which is actually kind of cool because this is not a part that I see used super often in Tol Falas maps, I guess. If I could speak. I actually played in a Tol Falas match that was 3 versus 4, and it was actually, again, evil defending, but it wasn't just Umbar, it was some other factions as well. But unfortunately, I've not really been able to get that replay to work. I'll be trying to get that one out pretty soon, especially because it has some really, really clutch plays by the Witchers. But again, it's actually really interesting to see that that Sin is going to be defending up here, and it's actually really unique as well. I kind of like that a lot. He's got some Arvizen and Nardubawi up here, and it looks... Oh! Well, you look at that. It looks like the entire army of Roger That is actually also going to be coming over here. I was going to say, if they kind of isolated Roger That by himself, the attackers would definitely want to all focus their power on the one defender over here. But it looks like the defenders are not going to allow that to happen. You can see, whoa, a bunch of Casimir's Legion there. But it looks like, yeah, the defenders are not going to allow that to happen, and instead they're going to be all 3 defending just this one portion of the map, which is actually kind of interesting, and again, that's very unique, and I have not really seen that before. Looks like maybe Sin's Lancers are going to be coming out here, and that's going to be a very smart move, of course, as well as his Warlords. He's going to have to be careful because that is his General's unit. But of course, you don't really want to keep your cavalry back here where they're going to be kind of useless. You want to get them out front where they can actually do some damage. However, with all of this defending cavalry, it may end up actually being kind of difficult to use them well. You can see Roger that has got his Lancers out here, maybe going to get a nice charge off on these Ramscourt Garrison archers. Yes, indeed, he is going to be trying to take that opportunity. However, while there are also some Gondor archers out here, you can see Tundra's Fox rushing forward with some Citadel Guard here. And they're not pikes, so they will take some losses on the initial charge. But they will, if the Númenor Lancers get stuck in melee, they will be able to kill them very quickly. See, the Númenor Lancers are taking some losses just due to arrow fire. They have some good armor as well as a good shield value, but with all these archers firing at them, they will drop pretty quickly. Now I can see Tundra's Fox scrambling to block off these cavalrymen here with his pikemen, but it looks like they're going to be a little bit too slow. Ooh, really close there. Tundra's Fox may be going to be able to catch out a few of these cavalrymen with his pikes. In fact, this guy's actually not going to die, surprisingly enough. But yeah, the Roger That's Lancer is still running around here. Looks like he might actually be wanting to go after Dol Amroth on this side. And yes, it actually looks like he's going to be reforming his lines over here, so Yeet McGeet will be attacking from this bridge, which is nice. But yeah, very interesting defense overall. Númenor Lancers may be getting caught out by a few units out here by the Guards of Osgiliath and such. But hopefully they will be able to get a nice charge off. We'll just have to see what happens in that regard. Looks like he's going to be trying to snipe this catapult crew, but you can see Yeet McGeet being aware of this, going to be pushing forward some pikemen here. And that's not probably the wisest move of Roger that, because he charges directly into those pikemen. You're going to see a lot of these Lancers go down there. And I don't even think maybe a single one of the catapult crew died. So not the best right there. As you can see, his Númenor Lancers were even thinking about routing there for a second. You can see some kind of isolated Guards of Osgiliath just kind of walking out here. Yeah, 31 Númenor Lancers left over. Looks like he might be trying to go after these Ramscourt garrisons, sneak through the Gondor spear line. Tundra's Fox going to be able to see that and be able to stop that with his Gondor spears, maybe? Oh, maybe not, actually. It looks like Roger that is instead going after these Doran Ernil swordsmen, going to charge right into their flank. But he's going to take a horrendous couple volleys of arrows from all these Gondor archers while he does it. And here comes some mercenary cav right into the back of these Lancers, and it'll probably be enough to rout them. No? Looks like most of the unit was able to escape. And look at these Haven Knights just sitting here. Oh no, the Haven Knights, both the Númenor Lancers and the Haven Knights are just sitting here. If Master Blaster just turned his Haven Knights around, he'd be able to take out this unit here. Maybe he's just AFK for a bit. Very interesting. However, you can see some Nimlothian Honor Guard trying to protect the Haven Guard. Oh, and the Haven Guard taking a charge to the flank. And that is, I believe, the General's unit of Master Blaster. I could be incorrect about that. And that was right on the flank of the, like where the General would have been. But it looks like they were not able to kill him. Yes, you can see Imrahil right here. But yeah, unable to be killed there. And the Lancers actually did break. So probably not the best investment. Still, we'll have to see if it really paid off. I mean, I don't really think it did, but I mean, you never know, I guess. Over here we've got Fallen Morningstar has marched down from his hill position up here, and you can actually see he does have some Nimerdell Rangers right here, so some more BP for the attackers, which is going to be nice. Oh, he's actually got some Blackroot Vale archers as well, again Rangers. So again, a lot of BP and a lot of pikemen from all of these attacking forces. And it looks like the defenders have pretty much fully set up. You can see Sin, unfortunately, going to have to probably retreat with his cav here. He does not want to lose it, just like Roger that did. And especially, he does not want to lose his knights here, because that is where his general is. And over here, yes, you can see Umbar setting up most of their forces on this side. Nice teamwork, I believe, from the defenders, all setting up pretty much across the whole area, just trying to help each other out. And up on this hill, you can see Neo Denolko has got his Ballista. He's also got some Casimir's Rangers, some Abrazanim Nardu Bawib, and some more Abrazanim Nardu Bawib. So a lot of really nice positions here from all of these archers and skirmishers. So as the attackers advance, they're going to have to be really, really wary of this ballista here on this very, very nice hill. The catapult is a little bit further back, but honestly the catapult would also probably be very nice up on that hill as well. And also what's really nice about this catapult is it does not have to worry really about getting sniped, because there are no elves on this battlefield today, which means he really doesn't have to worry about his crew getting shot to death just by archers. And because there's no ballista on the attacking team, he also doesn't really have to worry about his actual catapults getting sniped, which is actually very, very nice. So that will hopefully be able to be a pretty effective catapult this game, which will be cool to see. Neo sneaking some archers up here. Well, not really sneaking, just more marching his archers up here on this cliff face, so he can fire down this cliff here and just shoot at any of these advancing forces. You can see that Dol Amroth is beginning to make his way over here. Yeet McGeet is making his way over the first set of bridges, and will then beginning to make his way across the second set. Actually, is that... yeah, that's the Lancers. I was like, what is that? At first it looked like some catapult had fired there, but I take it back. It actually looks like Neo-Danulko is not going to be defending these bridges here, probably for fear of that catapult that Yeet Magit has. You can see it's actually making its way over right now. And he doesn't even have any units right here, which is a little bit risky in my opinion. I really do think that he should hold this choke for as long as possible, because if he allows them to walk into this choke, they can just walk around in this entire city. So he's going to have to set up a lot more units in all of these different streets and stuff in order to actually stop him. I think it'd be much better if he would decide to hold this choke here. But again, I'm not really sure what he's going to end up doing. Elegir Halberds, Numenor and Shield Guards kind of sitting around. And we'll take a look over here as well. Yeah, this is a very, very strong defense on this side, as well as up here on this hill. And it'll be interesting to see if the attackers do decide to come up this way through this like kind of narrow choke point, or if they'll just attack through this area here, and then of course that one. Hopefully they will attack from all three, because of course that's going to be the way to spread the defenders out the thinnest. You can see a lot of hidden crossbows around here, a lot of skirmishing potential. You can see these guys have got the excellent angle, like an epic angle right here on any troops crossing this bridge right here. They probably won't be able to fire at the last one, and I'm not really sure about that second one, but they will definitely be able to fire any troops that walk on this first one here. And even if they have any rangers or archers, they do have some archers here. The archers will definitely be able to reach probably to that last bridge. And of course the catapult will. You can see Warlords of Umbar from Neo-Danulko over here as well. Corsair Blackguards coming out of hiding and going to go straight back into it pretty much. There's some crossbow Corsairs as well. And all these hills makes it really, really troublesome to attack, I think. Especially because they could put rangers or archers right here as well and begin to fire units down here. But honestly, it'd probably be better just to have what they're doing right now. Because if the archers stay here, they'll actually be able to fire into the flanks of the units that are attacking this pike line. And that's probably going to be able to cause more damage. Heard some Umbar cheering. Not quite sure what that's about. Oh, actually the ballista, it took a few losses, but I don't know to what. Oh, fire arrows, that's what it was from. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. They'll be able to kill a few, but as long as you put it in loose formation, it'll be fine. Especially because I don't even think, yeah, they're all at 0% damage, so I would just leave the ballista up here. It's not really a big deal. Oh, actually, this is where the archers are. This is actually, oh, this is a little sneaky. You can put, Tundra's Fox has got some archers up here on this cliff face, and he can fire directly at all of these forces right here. That's a little sneaky. You can see that the Ramus Corps Garrison Archer is taking some shots from the Arvizen Nardu Bawid, but that's totally fine because the Ramus Corps Garrison Archers are super, super cheap. And they've got decent armor as well as a decent shield value, so they'll be able to weather arrows for quite some time. There you can see some more forces coming around, and the Rangers coming into view now. Looks like they're probably going to try to take some shots off at those Dor and Ernil pikemen. They like the animation of firing, but I don't think they actually fired. Yeah, they didn't actually fire. Turnostine Lancers coming over as well. Yeah, we'll go back over here. Interesting. That was actually a really smart move from Tundra's Fox to come up here on this hill. Very nice knowledge of the map there, it looks like. So that's actually really, really important. That's actually super nice. You can just come right up here. And that actually is nice because honestly that hill might have been a little bit too OP if there wasn't any way you could get up there unless you were like broke through the pike line. But this way, if you have some archers on this hill, it actually makes it a little bit more balanced, which is really, really nice. Ramus Corps Garrison coming back over to this hill. Maybe going to try to take some more shots on the Arvizen Nardu Bawid. Maybe at the Rangers as well, though. Rangers not firing anymore. There's another Royal Guard over here, as well as the Arvizen Nardu Bawid. Oh, I'm a little bit weird with the camera on this kind of cliff. You can see the attacker's going to be approaching very slowly, of course. They don't want to take unnecessary losses like anyone else does, of course. And we'll go over here, I think, for now. See what the attackers have brought forward. Looks like Fallen Morningstar has definitely rushed the biggest part of his force up the first. You can see he's got a lot of pikes, though. And pikes going in first probably isn't the best because all of the Umbar archers, of course, still do have ammo. So if he marches first with all these pikes, he's going to take a lot of losses. Honestly, it would maybe be best to allow Tundra's Fox to go first, because he's got a lot of spears. I take it back, he doesn't have that many. He's only got 4 units of spearmen, I believe. 2 Citadel Guard, and then I think like 2 standard Gondor spearmen. Because, you know, the spearmen have like better armor plus shields, so they won't take as many losses as the pikes to skirmish fire. But again, with those crossbows, I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, I think, for these attackers to be able to do this. But we'll speed it up, I think, a little bit. Not like a ton, just like a little bit. But of course, it's only going to do it when we're standing still. But still, it'll help out a little bit. Yeah, nice pike line here of the cheap pikes mixed in with the Castamir's Legion here. That's going to be really difficult, I think, to break through. Plus, the pikemen who have very poor armor, of course, get skirmished down very easily. But with the Castamir's Legion rather in here, who have very good shield values as well as very good armor, they'll actually be able to protect these pikes quite a lot from any incoming skirmishers. You can actually see there are some Corsair Blackguards mixed in on this flank with the pike line here. But they are currently hidden, so you can't actually see them, or the attackers can't actually see them, which will be nice. It'll be a nice little ambushing force, because if they attack right up front here, Sin can just pull them around and just javelin all of those units right in the back, which will be very, very deadly, I would assume. Looks like Roger that has got his Naru and Naru Sentinels back here as well, but I wonder what Neo Denolko is doing, because I really, really hope that he is going to be holding this choke point. It looks like he's not. No, that is... Ooh, I don't know about that, because Yeet McGeet's going to be able to walk in here just pretty much uncontested. Just walk straight through here and start putting a lot of pressure on all of these units back here. And wow, okay, this is a really interesting defense from Neo Denolko, because he's got pretty much all of his units compressed into like this little area, and he's got some archers up here. But you can see he's not really protecting this pathway, so the attackers could literally just walk through here and walk straight up this path and attack all of these archers of Neo Denolko's up here. I'm not really sure about this defense from Neo Denolko. I don't know if I really like it. Ooh. Castamir's range is firing at something, but I really hope he's not using them to target the tier 3 marksman, because rangers should never, ever be used as frontline, as like foot archers, you know, as like standard line archers is what I'm trying to say. Catapult actually up here firing, kind of wasting some ammo, I think, just trying to target these archers, that is. Yeah, you can see Yeet McGeet rushing forward here, but you can see a lot of these forces have gone down just due to the skirmish fire. But I really don't think it's going to be very good if he's using his rangers just to target some archers. Hopefully he's at least targeting something like the Haven Guard. There's that catapult still. And yeah, you can see Yeet McGeet pushing straight through into this city here. And I really am not that impressed with Neo Denolko's defense. I think he should be holding up here, not way back here, because he's really compressed their entire defense just into this one little area pretty much. And of course Sin's part out here, and you can actually see he's firing his catapult over here at these forces that are all really gathering and kind of blobbing up. You can see you've got Fallen Morningstar as well as Tundra's Fox in here maybe? Yep, indeed. Ooh, Warden's White Tower. You can see a few burnt bodies in here, not quite sure what they actually hit. Probably just some Medhill and Men-at-Arms. Ooh, that was actually a pretty decent hit into some pikes and some infantry. But again, because all these units are in loose formation, they're not going to take a ton of losses. But of course, every little thing does add up. And you can see it looks like Tundra's Fox is going to be first into the actual infantry engagement. He's rushing forward some Citadel Guard as well as some Pelargir Marines over to this little choke here. So it looks to me like Roger That's Numenor and Shield Guard are going to take some pretty horrendous javelin volleys if he is not careful. Yeah, the Citadel Guard, of course, not going to rush right into the fight, because otherwise these Pelargir Marines would be kind of useless. He just wants to keep the Citadel Guard here to protect the Pelargir Marines while they javelin these Nardu Tariq and the Shield Guard. But it looks like the Shield Guard and Nardu Tariq are going to rush straight forward here. And oh, actually here comes some Mercenary Cav from Yeet McGeet. They will do actually an okay amount of damage against the Eberzen and Nardu Tariq, but against the Shield Guard they will get absolutely wrecked. Oh, and here come the AP Citadel Guard in here. They're going to be doing very, very well for themselves. However, with the AP Nardu Tariq in here, it will be a little bit of a struggle, I would think. Especially because they're very outnumbered. You can see they're already down to only 79. And I really hope Roger That isn't going to try to shield wall push through here, because, I mean, he is a defender. He needs to try to be, you know, like, a little bit defensive. It looks like he is going to maybe slow down a little bit here, which is good. That's what you want to do. And oh, the javelins from the flank there from the Pelargir Marines, but it looks like a lot of these Citadel Guard are just getting absolutely butchered here. Yeet McGeet also rushing forward with some Knights of the Silver Swan, but again, he's rushing cavalry straight into some pretty elite spears that are the Numenor and Shield Guard. So he will take a lot of losses with his cavalry here. But again, I mean, they were kind of useless once the defenders pulled back all of their cavalry anyway. But again, it's going to be interesting because the defenders rather, could push their cavalry out again at any time if they wanted to. Ooh, these Pelargir Marines getting some nice volleys into the flanks of all of these units here. Going to be able to cause a lot of damage, actually. Here's some Tier 3 marksmen as well. And oh yeah, these poor Shield Guard and Nardu Tariq who are actually thinking about routing. I believe because the Knights of the Silver Swan instill fear. You can see the Spearmen here trying to rush into these Javelins just to try to silence them, but by this time I believe they've probably used most of their ammo, and in fact, here come the swords, so they must be out of ammo. Oh, no, they actually still have maybe like 1 or 2 volleys left over. So pretty fierce engagement so far. Tundra's Fox getting some nice kills in with his Javelins. However, he did lose that entire unit of Citadel Guard pretty quickly right there. Roger that, continuing to chase down after these Pelgrim Marines. He really should not be too aggressive here because the attackers, of course, greatly outnumber the Umbarans here. So they need to be a little bit careful, I think. Yeah, he needs to. Okay, yeah, he needs to pull them back. He needs to pull them back right now. Meanwhile, over here, the cavalry are getting cut down. There's not too many of them left. Roger that, trying to skirmish with, looks like some... He's trying to shoot the Citadel Guard. And that's not the best target, because they're very heavily armored with some really good shield values. So he's kind of just wasting his ammo on the Citadel Guard there. He probably should be targeting something like the Axemen of Lossernach, or units that don't really have shields or that great of armor. Wardens of the White Tower right up here in the front. And here comes a second unit. Actually might just be the same unit, but another unit of the Pelgrim Marines here. Nardu Tariq took a lot of losses, and oh, Pelgrim Marines right behind these Numenor Shield Guard. We're going to see a nice, juicy volley, I think, right into the back of the Shield Guard. And oh yes, look at that. So many of them just dropping to those volleys right from behind. And that is not good. Roger that. Overall, the Umbaran defense is not really looking the greatest, in all honesty. We'll take a look back here. And yeah, you can see Neo Danulko has also begun the infantry fight. And again, he's elected to defend the streets instead of that one choke point. I think that is kind of a mistake, but we'll see how it works out for him. He's got his Naru Sentinels and some Belagir Halberds, as well as some Numenor Shield Guard here, all fighting against some Dornernal Pikemen and some Mercenary Guildsmen, as well as some Spears. I think that'll be a fight that the Umbarans will win. Over here we've got some Edhelm Halberdiers just kind of sitting around, more Guildsmen, Black Swan Vanguard. And you can see Dol Amroth trying to rush forward here. They're going to want to try as hard as possible to break through these units here, and then try to attack this pike line from behind, as well as just get up this cliff here and silence these archers. But you can see that crossbow Corsairs are firing. And I'm not quite sure at what. Probably just some archers, unfortunately, because crossbows, again, probably aren't the greatest at dealing with archers. Rangers only at 32. They did take a lot of losses, but they were able to waste a ton of that catapult ammo. And it looks like Yeet McGee is just going to continuously fire up here at these archers. Not the greatest targets in the world, honestly. Especially because it can be very well used in the city. But oh, that was actually very close to hitting these Naru Sentinels. If he keeps doing that, he might actually be able to get some lucky hits and actually cause a lot of damage. But over here, Dol Amroth steadily trying to push forward here. And there actually aren't any pikes in here. So these Dornernal pikemen will actually do very well for themselves against those units. Ooh, hitting the building right there. Interesting plays, I think, from both sides, honestly. And over here, yeah, roger that, just really struggling against all these javelins. His archers are already out of ammo. Here comes some Swan Knights from Master Blaster again, just going to be committed because, you know, there's really nothing else for them to be. Abrazam Nardu Tariq, actually thinking about wavering here, fighting against some Pelagir Marines and some Axemen of Lossernach. They're being backed up by some Shield Guard, of course. Both units of Roger that Shield Guard, actually, looks like. But of course, being very weakened, they're not going to be able to do a bunch of damage. And Belagir footmen rushing, I don't know why they're doing this. That's not what you want to do. You need to conserve as many units as possible. And now that unit of Belagir archers is just completely wiped off the field. However, one good thing about this is that they did waste, it looks like, a lot, if not all, of the Pelagir Marines' ammo on these Shield Guard and such. Whereas the Pelagir Marines would have been very useful at taking out, like, pike blocks and such, but instead they used their ammo on the Spearmen and on those Macemen. So it may actually not be super bad that they lost so many units to the Pelagir Marines. But of course, there are still a lot of Dol Amroth javelins around they have to be careful of. Meanwhile, you got some Wardens of the White Tower getting into the fight here, going to try to help out with killing the last of these Numenoran Shield Guard. And the next Umbar defense will maybe be right here. You know, looks like some Belagir archers that are out of ammo. Unfortunately, I believe this unit used all of its ammo just on those Citadel Guard, who really didn't take very many losses from it. Ooh, Catapult taking out a lot of the Swan Knights, maybe even hitting a few of these. Oh no, those are all Swan Knights, never mind. I thought those were the Haven Knights. But yeah, taking out a pretty good portion of this one, as well as hitting a few of these Axemen of Lossarnach. And yeah, pretty interesting fight so far. You can see the shield guard were defeated, as well as the Nardu Taric. There's actually only like one shield guard left in there. He's probably going to die very shortly here. And still trying to do his best. And ooh, Axemen of Lossarnach down only 81, but unfortunately that catapult took out a lot of those Abrazen and Nardu Taric who were in shield wall. And with Tundra's Fox rushing forward here with the Wardens of the White Tower, it's going to be a little bit interesting because he is going to be exposing himself to some crossbow fire, probably from Sin of the Archon, as well as that catapult. So this elite unit here might get taken out pretty early on, which is probably not the greatest thing in the world for the attackers. And yes, here comes a catapult volley again, taking out some more Axemen of Lossarnach, as well as maybe hitting some units back here. Nah, maybe not. There's that second unit of Axemen of Lossarnach, of course. The AP Axemen going to do pretty well against the Nardu Taric, but again, the Nardu Taric are also AP. And here comes, yes, the crossbow volleys. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put it back down at normal speed. I forgot about that. Wardens of White Tower still at 45, but again, they're in prime position to get shot at by that catapult here. So we'll have to see. He is firing. It does say it's firing, but I don't see those catapults actually going down, so it doesn't look like they're currently... Oh, there they go. So they may be trying to hit these Wardens of White Tower, but they're going to have to be really careful here, because they may end up hitting a lot of their own troops, because you can see they've got a pretty big concentration of forces here. Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to be targeting its back here instead. Hitting a few more of those Axemen, maybe? Actually, it looks like that volley might have missed, but we'll go back over here. This main fight has not begun yet, but the fight in the city is, of course, still progressing. Over here, these forces, the Blackswan Vanguard and the Edelhelm Halberd, just being surrounded on all sides, going to be getting cut down pretty shortly, it looks like. Over here, it's still pretty even, but it looks like most of the pikemen have fallen. But a lot of the Umbar forces have also gotten killed, so he has had to commit some Abrazen and Narduzagar. And over here, I think Dol Amroth is going to be defeated. However, on this flank, because Neodonilko is kind of awkward formation with his Naru Sentinels, the Sentinels aren't really being used as well as they probably could be. Because over here, there's Mercenary Guildsmen. Mercenary Guildsmen are not the best sword and shield infantry. They actually have some pretty poor morale as well as pretty poor stats. So they're not going to be doing super great. Edelhelm Halberdiers and Blackswan Vanguard, however, will be doing pretty good against most of these Umbar units. And Yeet McGeet taking a lot of losses pretty early on, it looks like. Haven Guard down to 32. He's got some stuff in reserve, but he has committed a lot of his forces. And up here, we've still got Neodonilko's skirmishers constantly firing down. Crossbow Corsairs looks like they might be out of ammo. Yeah, they're out of ammo, unfortunately. Naru Rail Guard still firing, though. Belagar Archers just waiting because they don't want to waste their ammo. We'll take a look back over here where the fight is still going on. Ooh, yeah, a lot of attackers here. We've got some civilians, we've got Axemen, we've got the Wardens who are down to only 27. The AP, Abrazen Nardu Bawib, or no, the AP, where are the... Oh, actually, I don't think... Yeah, the Abrazen and Nardu Taric are actually down to only 13, but their AP, I think, really served them well against the units like the Wardens of the White Tower. But right here, they've only got, looks like, archers holding back this massive tide of attackers, so it's going to be difficult. And ooh, some really, really nice hits there from Sin's catapult. Going to turn things maybe back a little bit closer. Again, those Wardens of the White Tower are really going to be troublesome this early on to deal with, because again, this is all pretty much archers that are defending right here. But again, they're just going to be trying to inflict as many casualties as possible into the attackers before they get to the main pikeline, of course. And here comes some Blackguard from Roger that, but I don't think they really have an angle to actually do anything. There's also archers back here, and ooh, catapult narrowly missing some really bad friendly fire there. Yeah, so far Tundra's Fox has really been attacking quite ferociously, but he is taking a lot of losses, honestly. Master Blaster's got some units in here as well. You know, these Blackguards going to be taking a lot of arrow fire now from these Gondor archers. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But it looks like Tundra's Fox is actually going to be pulling them back a little bit. And Blackguards are also going to be coming back as well, because you can see that these archers are about to get broken through in just a matter of seconds, maybe. Maybe a little bit longer than that, actually. Ooh, catapult narrowly missing some Gondor archers there. And back here we've still got a lot of units. Ooh, well, it looks like some Blackswan Vanguard, maybe some Pelican Marines as well, got burnt by that catapult there. So very, very intense battle so far. I really like this one a lot so far. And yeah, there go some archers. These Abrazen and Nardu Bawib are probably going to rout pretty quickly here. And that'll be the end of that. However, there are some shield guard out here. Ooh, yeah, and Sin's crossbows on that hill there, being protected by the shield guard. Going to be able to inflict a lot of damage into all these units now that there's not much fear for friendly fire. However, you can see they are getting targeted by the archers, who just took a lot of loss to that catapult. And the Corsair crossbows have very, very little armor. So they will get taken out pretty quickly by those Gondor archers, which is why you can see Sin marching forward with his only unit of Abbers and Nardu Bawid to try to skirmish down those Gondor archers, maybe. And that'll be a pretty interesting fight, because both of those units have very, very good armor, but not great damage. And yeah, look at all these units that these crossbows are firing down. A lot of heavy armor here that these crossbows are going to be able to get a lot of kills on. And yes, you can see those Tirthir Wardens, but here comes Master Blaster's Tirthir Wardens rushing out of that fight, going to be able to try to chase down these Aberzenum Nardu Bawid. And Sin's going to try to get a volley off, maybe? Nope, okay, yeah, he's going to be trying to pull them back here. And yes, these Tirthir Wardens might be able to catch them. Oh... No, looks like they won't be able to. And they're just going to run headlong into some Numenor and Shieldguard. And oh my goodness! Oh no, that is horrendous. That is some horrendous friendly fire there. You can see he not only hit some of his pikemen and crossbows, but he took out a huge chunk of Roger that's Numenor and Shieldguard, who are rushing forward, and that is not a good idea. Honestly, he should have just left them there, because Spearmen are meant to hold. They're not really supposed to be charging down hills and stuff, because they just aren't good at that sort of thing. Especially after taking so much friendly fire, he should have just left them there in that line, I think, to just try to hold us for as long as possible. Because as you can see, because of the friendly fire and because he rushed them down, he's kind of split this unit into kind of to two pieces. There's like the chunk here and then the chunk over here, so that's just going to be really not good overall. Warden is down to only 11 though, so those Wardens getting cut down really, really quickly. Only 32 of the Wardens of the Wardens of the Tirthir as well. Tirthir Wardens, the Spearman unit, of course. We'll go back over here, and yes, looks like Umbar has claimed victory over Dol Amroth so far. Although here are some Rangers from Master Blaster as well coming over here to try to help out. The catapult is also over here trying to do as much damage, but for the most part, it looks like a lot of Yeet Magit's infantry has been cut down, except for right here. He's got his Haven Guard in melee now, and the Haven Guard will be able to absolutely butcher through anything the Umbarans have on that flank. Ooh, catapult narrowly missing these Casimir's Legion. Meanwhile, over here we've got some more infantry, but again, for the most part, it looks like Umbar was able to definitely beat this assault from Yeet Magit. There's some Corsair fencers around here chasing after some more units. And yes, there goes Yeet Magit's general, and that's going to cause some routing. I'm definitely among units like the Guildsmen in just a second here, especially if these Guildsmen get charged from behind by these Corsair fencers, and it looks like that is in fact going to be the case. These Mercenary Guildsmen will probably end up routing there. Over here though, these Haven Guard are going to be very troublesome to deal with. You can see Neodonolko actually brought his Harbingers of Castamere over here to try to help out, but it looks like they're actually just chanting, and I'm not quite sure why, because the Aberzem Narduzgar are not thinking about routing, although that could be because of the chanting. But you won't really be able to rout the Haven Guard, I don't think, just by chanting. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to get into the actual fight. Although, actually, the chanting may have actually just routed those Mercenary Guildsmen. Maybe the Pikemen will follow suit. So maybe it actually was pretty effective. Beligard Footmen trying to kill these Tirthir marksmen, but again, we've also still got these Rangers from Master Blaster. There's still some more archers back here, and it looks like this catapult is not firing, so maybe it is in fact out of ammo. Yeah, Neodonolko just trying to deal with the last of Yeet Magit's forces. Although he does have to be careful of leaving this place undefended, because... Is that a unit back there? Yeah. Yeet Magit still does have some Knights of the Silver Swan back there that he could rush over here and try to cause a bit of havoc. He's still got some archers out here, but for the most part, it looks like he's rushing most of them down. And again, over here, the fight has still not begun on this bridge yet. Mostly it's just on this kind of land bridge instead. Gondor Spearmen took a lot of losses, and again, probably it was just because of some archers, but you don't really want to shoot at Gondor Spearmen. They've got really good armor plus a really good shield value, so definitely not the best to shoot at them. However, we'll look back over here and see what's going on. Sin of the Dark Cloud's Numenor and Lancers trying to charge out here, and actually Roger that's Shield Guard were able to beat back these attackers and rush forward here, and that catapult causing so much damage. And oh no, Sin's Lancers, looks like he was trying to charge them over here into these archers, but unfortunately a lot of that unit got cut out by these Guards of Osgiliath. However, the Guards of Osgiliath actually routed here, as well as these Axemen of Lossarnach. These Gondor archers may actually follow suit. Nimmerdale Rangers taking a lot of losses, just to some defending archers there. Ooh no, oh no, that's very unfortunate. Ooh, there goes Neodonolko's general. And because those units, have something to say about that, but that'll be for later. Unfortunately, Sin of the Dark Cloud tried to rush forward here, but then he turned around right into those stakes, so he'd lose some force there. But he's going to be continuously rushing forward here, going to try to silence these Nimrodel Rangers and continue the route of all of these forces here. Although here comes a second unit of Guards of Osgiliath, so Sin's going to have to pull back with his Lancers, or else he will lose them. And unfortunately, he may lose them to stakes if he's not careful. No, okay, he is going to walk them through these stakes here. So that is, of course, going to be the wisest move. And so far, it looks like the defenders were once again able to thrust back the attackers. Castamir's Rangers right over there. But again, over here, the Harbingers of Castamir did actually end up losing their general because most of the unit was chanting, so they weren't actually attacking or doing anything, so the general was just kind of isolated out there, just getting hacked to pieces by these Haven Guards. So kind of an unfortunate loss there for Neodimilco losing his general like that, where if he had actually just committed the unit or committed something else entirely against the Haven Guard, he would have been able to keep his general alive for much, much longer. Over here, it looks like all these guys were defeated, and it looks like it's just going to be Yeet McGeet's few archers trying to do their little bit over here, again because the catapult's out of ammo. Maybe it's not out of ammo, he's pushing it around still. There's also still Master Blaster's Rangers over here trying to do some damage where they can. And oh yes, in fact, they are doing a good job against these heavily blobbed up forces of Neodimilco. You can see he's trying to rush his Harbingers of Castamir out of there before they take too many losses. But these pikemen, as well as the Abrazim and Narduzagar, are going to take a ton of losses to all of those archers, and particularly to the Rangers. So he's going to be trying to rush forward here and silence them. Only 3 Haven Guard remain. And just like that, the assault has went from defending like back here, as well as these 2 other points. It's just going to be these 2 points to defend now, unless the attackers decide to walk all the way around, which I highly, highly doubt they will do. However, yeah, the defender's doing a really nice job, honestly, over here, constantly pushing back the attackers in their assaults. And again, it's going to be really hard, I think, for the attackers to attack from this way because just of how narrow this actual choke point is and how little it will really take to defend this entire area. So honestly, although it may be kind of scary to attack this point over here with all these archers and such, it may be the best idea just to kind of like rush through here where it's kind of like the widest, where you have like the least, where you're like the least compact, so you won't be as like susceptible to missile fire. But still, I don't know, it's just going to be really, really difficult, I think. There's the catapult of Sin of the Dark Cloud. He's been firing it a lot, and he's been getting a lot of kills, but he is using a lot of its ammo, and it's going to be difficult, I think, to... If he uses all of it, it's going to be difficult to deal with the more elite units that are going to be coming on later on. Because you can see, the attackers still definitely have a lot left over. You can see all of these Dol Amroth and Gondor forces just kind of sitting out here and waiting, just biding their time and waiting for the right moment to attack. Although here comes some Nimlothian Honor Guard. I'm not quite sure where these guys are going to be going. They look like they might want to attack up here, but that's going to be kind of deadly, honestly, because there are still crossbows and that catapult up there, so they could take a lot of losses, honestly, if they decide to rush forward here. Although they're probably just ending up... This is his general's unit, so he's probably actually just going to be sitting here for a little bit here. Guards of Osgiliath, Gondor Archers, Axemen, Losternock, all just kind of sitting here currently. Looks like these crossbow corsairs are out of ammo, unfortunately, but I believe he does have a second unit that still has ammo somewhere around here. Yes, it's right here on this little hill. And now it looks like it's going to be another little bit of a slow part, because now that this assault has been dealt with, the attackers are going to have to decide what they really want to do next. And actually over here, we've got Neodimilco's Warlords of Umbar actually going to be kind of useful at running down these archers as well as the catapult crew. Although it looks like maybe the Rangers were able to escape, because I don't see them anywhere. Where are the Blackroot Vale archers? There's some Tirthar marksmen kind of running around. But yeah, I don't actually know where the Blackroot Vale archers are, the Rangers of Dol Amroth. Or I think they're Master Blasters technically, but I don't know where they are. So that's a little concerning, maybe. Maybe they were all killed, but I don't see any of their like brown and bluish cloaks on the ground. Maybe I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, the Warlords of Umbar are actually going to be kind of useful here at running down these archers and the last of these units, just to try to deal with them finally, like once and for all, really. Oh, Yeet McGeet trying to conserve this last unit here of Tirthar marksmen. Just going to try to have something maybe for the end game. Yeah, his assault was really kind of flat here. Here comes actually Sin's Warlords of Umbar as well, trying to get a piece of these routing units, or just the last of these units. But yeah, now it's going to be kind of an interesting situation, I think, because Yeet McGee kind of attacked without any support from his allies. I mean, his allies were trying to break through here, but they weren't also trying to attack through this way. So it's actually kind of easy, it looked like, to defend this whole area, really. It looks like here's another assault, maybe? Guards of Osgiliath, ooh, taking a lot of losses. They're not super well armored pikemen, so they're going to be taking a lot of losses to pretty much any skirmish fire. Looks like there are actually Casimir's Rangers firing at them, as well as that catapult, hitting a few of them right there at the end. Here's some Ramscourt Garrison Archers also trying to skirmish the units down. Ooh. Citadel Guard coming up to the fight as well, maybe. Yeah, those Guards of Osgiliath actually shaken down to only 42 men. Yeah, here's the Citadel Guard rushing forward here, and there's some crossbow corsairs just kind of rushing in here as well. I'm going to try to do their little bit, but I don't know if they'll really be able to hold that long against the Citadel Guard, as well as some Ramscourt Garrison Archers over here. We'll have to see if that catapult wants to fire at those Citadel Guard. Looks like he's not going to be doing that, looks like. Here comes some Gondor Archers, all down to only 28. The Ramscourt Garrison Archers are at 66. And yeah, this has been a really gruesome fight on this land bridge right here. The attackers have taken a ton of casualties. Catapult not firing, looks like, still. And yeah, Tundra's Fox rushing forward with some AP Spearmen as well as a bunch of archers. Just going to try to weaken the defense as much as possible. Probably also, yeah, going to be targeting these Rangers from Roger that. There are still a lot of very other deadly units around here. You can see some of the Darkcloud's Rangers have not even fired a single time yet. Same with this unit of crossbow corsairs. So there's still a lot of very deadly units around here on the defense. So I think it's going to be real difficult for the attackers to be able to break through here. Yeah, the Warlord's cutting down the last of this catapult crew. There's some Abrazan Narduzagar. And this unit back here, oof, yeah. Oh wait, actually, what? This unit of Tier 3 Wardens just shooting into the back of these Warlords of Umbar. Actually killed one of them, but yeah, this is going to be the end of them, just getting charged right by those knights. And even if Sin just lets his knights sit here and melee these Tier 3 Wardens, or Tier 3 Marksmen rather, sorry. I feel like I've been calling them Wardens a lot, but they're Marksmen. These Warlords will be able to easily deal with those Marksmen. But again, I have no idea. Oh, here they are. Okay. I was like, I do not know what happened to those Rangers that Master Blaster had, but it looks like they were run down probably by Sin's cavalry here. You can see their bodies over here, as well as up here, maybe where they tried to make their last stand. And yeah, it looks like Yeet McGeet, his assault was kind of fruitless. He was not really able to cause a ton of damage to Neodnulko, and he took, like, his entire army was pretty much just wiped off the face of the earth, so didn't really bear much fruit there in that regard. Ramscourt Garrison Archers looks like they're out of ammo, maybe going to attack with the Citadel Guard. However, these Gondor Archers still do have ammo. They're going to be targeting, looks like, yeah, they're trying to deal a little bit of damage to these Naru and Naru Royal Guard, but probably not going to be able to do too much, honestly, because these guys are 2 HP with really good armor, as well as, I believe, even a decent shield value. So these Naru and Naru Royal Guard will be able to weather arrows from the Gondor Archers for a long time, especially because the Gondor Archers aren't really particularly damaging. The main good thing about Gondor Archers, or pretty much Gondor Skirmishers in general, is that they can take a beating and mainly just like waste the ammo. They really can't do that much damage, but they can survive a lot, especially with their armor upgrades. That's kind of the main niche for pretty much all of Gondor. It seems like they're very good at taking hits, but not super great at giving them. With a few exceptions, of course, like Kara and Swordmasters and like Foundguard and such. Catapult, though, actually routing those Ramscourt Garrison Archers. Guards of Osgiliath going forward without any support into this pike line will die pretty quickly. Yeah, Tundra's Fox noticing this, he knows doesn't want to waste that unit there, even though there's not many of them left. They could still help a little bit, so he's actually going to turn back around, although they are actually taking some skirmish fire now from Casimir's Rangers. Looks like the next wave of attackers may be coming pretty shortly, though, because here comes some civilians from Master Blaster, and behind them we've got a lot of pikemen, halberdiers, Belfast Marines. We've got everything coming forward now, so looks like it's going to be a really big rush here from, it looks like mostly Master Blaster's stuff. He's got some pikes, he's got halberds, he's got Marines. So yeah, a lot of deadly stuff in here. But again, there's so much left in terms of skirmishing power that the defenders have left. It's going to be really difficult for the attackers, I think. Oh, here's some Abrazam Nardubawi being supported by some shield guard here. Going to try to get some skirmishing shots, or some shots off rather, into these kind of weaker armored units like the pikemen and the halberdiers. And ooh, that catapult's still doing really well. And back here, he's actually even going to be rushing forward some Swan Knights, maybe? But again, because the defending pike line, those Swan Knights probably are just going to die pretty quickly. Oh, Dorian Pikemen at 105, but they're thinking about routing? Oh, just for a second there. I was like, oh my. There must be some fear-inspiring units, or fear-instilling units around here. But yeah, here's this catapult on a very, very nice position. Going to be able to cause a ton of damage if they want to. Yeah, that catapult's going to be really difficult because you can see it actually is causing so much damage here to all of these pikemen and halberds. Tol Falas Marines up here as well. They've got their javelins out, but because of this kind of awkward angle, I don't think they'll really be able to do that much with their actual javelins. Royal Guard, ooh, as well as Corsair Blackguards throwing directly into the flanks of all these units. Going to be able to cause an obscene amount of damage. Although here actually comes 2 units, yes, 2 units, both units of the Talon Knights. And this is kind of, I think, risky, because you can see they're currently getting javelined, and the catapult will be sure to target these Talon Knights, because they're very, very deadly. Arbuzam and Nargabow kind of retreat, and the Shield Guard will stay here to make sure they are able to do so. So yeah, a really brutal attack here from the men of Dol Amroth and Gondor. Really valiant, but I don't know how it's going to turn out, because that catapult is going to be really, really troublesome, especially with all these skirmishers on the flanks. It's going to be really difficult, I think, for the attackers to break through here. We'll go around over here for a second just to see what's going on. Yeah, looks like nothing else is happening on that end, so we are basically just going to be focusing our attention for here, or on here, probably for the rest of the battle, honestly, because I highly doubt the attackers will want to go all the way around again. Oh, actually, Tol Falas Marines curving their javelins right up here into this pike line, actually causing a decent amount of damage, honestly, to these Castamir's Legion and the Corsair pikemen here. But with the Talon Knights right up front, I doubt they'll be able to throw that many more javelins. And ooh, some returning javelins from the Corsair Blackguards there, going to be enough to probably silence that unit for the most part. Yeah, here's all the Talon Knights. There's Citadel Guard. There's pikemen as well as halberdiers. That's a lot of scary stuff. Honestly, it's going to be difficult, I would assume, for the. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be really close. It's going to be really, really close, I think. And that is still not even all of the attackers. The attackers still do have a lot left. You actually see Fallen Morningstar coming forward with some Tier 3 marksmen, as well as some Blackroot Vale Archers, who are, of course, Rangers. Master Blaster still has his Haven Guard in reserve. But honestly, that catapult might want to start firing over here. Ooh, you can see the Corsair Blackguards taking a lot of losses here to these Swan Knights, who are rushing for straight over here, trying to probably silence this catapult here, but getting stopped, like I said, by the Corsair Blackguards. But this will probably be the end of the Swan Knights. But again, you can see they're doing a decent amount of damage, honestly, against those Corsair Blackguards, because the Corsair Blackguards are, of course, not spearmen. And because these guys are not lancers, they actually will be able to do pretty well against standard infantry as long as they're not spears. And oh, right here in the center, you can see that the Citadel Guard as well as the Halberdiers doing a pretty decent job at pushing through these cheap pikes as well as these Castamir's Legion here. So these are looking pretty iffy, honestly, for the defenders. You can see some javelins getting tossed in here as well. Looks like they're trying to go after the catapult crew, surprisingly enough. So these Tol Falas Marines somehow able to get an angle with their javelins over all their troops as well as over this hill. But yeah, look at all these Talon Knights just pushing straight through this. Oh no, this is not good. If Sin is not careful, he could lose his catapult crew. Oh, this is not good at all. You can see these cheap pikemen and Castamir's Legion trying to do their best, and they are doing pretty good in certain areas, but over here, with all of these elites, they're really, really struggling. So they're going to have to do something over here and try to help out. Although, to be sure, to be honest, the catapult could be out of ammo, so he might not be... Yeah, they're actually charging right now, so the catapult must be out of ammo, so he probably doesn't care anymore. But yeah, the catapult did do a lot of damage, but there's still a lot of units back there that could still cause a lot of damage, so it's going to be difficult, I think. Yeah, these Talon Knights just slowly pushing their way forward here. Royal Guard pulled out their spears because they were attacked by some Swan Knights. But yeah, these cheap pikes and Castamir's Legion really, really struggling, in all honesty. And he's got Castamir's Rangers out here as well, trying to cause some more damage. And you can see that now there has been a decent amount of success against this front line. Master Blaster as well as Tempest Fox are going to be committing some more units in the form of some shock infantry as well as some spearmen. There's some more archers back here as well, trying to target down the Rangers here, who are taking a decent amount of losses, unfortunately, for Sin. And yeah, just a really, really nasty fight so far. Really cool one, though, definitely. That's definitely for sure. See the Talon Knights doing their bit. The Talon Knights are starting to slow down a little bit. Looks like one unit's down to 26, the other one's at 44. Here comes some Spearmen and Shield Wall, going to be able to maybe rush straight through that entire pike line. And that is not looking super great for the for the defenders. Actually, looks like the Naru and our Royal Guard is also in here, so they're committing a lot to this one little choke here, but again, that's kind of unsurprising. Yeah, look at these Tier 3 Wardens just pushing their way through here. Although the Edhelm Halberdiers and Citadel Guard are also thinking about routing. There's some Knights of the Silver Swan from Yeet McGeet. But yeah, over here, Sin kind of struggling, honestly. His pipeline is really not holding up as well as I thought it would, in all honesty. Casimir's Rangers down to 53. Naru and our Royal Guard from Roger that. There's some more Rangers on this flank. Yeah, you can see Sin of the Dark Cloud rushing a lot of his units over here to try to hold on. Actually, he's pulling back all of his pikemen, all of his units that were defending these bridges here. He's pulling back to that one choke point fight. So if the attackers want to, they could rush forward over all 3 of these bridges, but it looks like that's not what the defenders, or not what the attackers really wanted Sin to do, because they only have like 4 units over here, and they're not even really that good. So these 4 units here were probably really just to make sure that there were defenders over here, because they can't really assault with just these 4 units. You can see they're going to have to probably commit some more units like over here, from over here on that side. So Sin's going to be pulling a lot of his pikemen and Casimir's Legion back over to that front fight, and that's because the attackers have committed so much over here that he is actually going to be able to do that pretty effectively, honestly. And here comes Black Swan Vanguard. There's the Haven Guard from Master Blaster, which is of course his general's unit. There's some more pikemen and some more Edhelm men-at-arms, so they're really committing a ton over here to this one choke point. You can see some Black Swan Vanguard are already in the fight, and here in the center, the pipeline has been broken. Of course, our pipeline actually thinking about routing there. Citadel Guard trying to go around the flank, and oh no, those Castimir's Legion getting javelin to death as well is no good. But yeah, with all of these reinforcing units, they may be able to hold on to this, honestly. Although they could just set up another defense like on this choke point. It's just kind of a matter of what they really want to do. Yeah, there go the pikemen actually reforming, interestingly enough. Same with the Castimir's Legion. So yeah, it looks like they're actually going to be taking advantage of the fact that you can't pass through these columns here, and they're going to be setting up like 2 choke points now. There's going to be one here, and then one, of course, over on this side. So they're going to be taking advantage of that fact, of course. But over here, of course, it's looking very, very weak, and that is, of course, where there's Haven Guard going as well as some Carrier Swordmasters. There's some Citadel Guard in the background, so they will probably be able to break through here if they want to do so. So they're gonna have to, the defenders are gonna have to commit some more stuff over here if they want to hold it. Although they could have also, of course, just set up another choke right here, because again, you can't pass through the columns. Or just leave those units right there as well. That would also just be perfectly fine. But yeah, now that the choke point is a little bit smaller, these pikemen and Casimir's Legion may be able to hold for a little bit longer. But again, with these Citadel Guard behind them, it's not going to be the best or the easiest thing to defend. Here comes some crossbow corsairs from Sin. And here in the center, you can see with a lot of reinforcing units, it's going to be easier to hold here. The Talon Knight's going to be looking a little bit weaker now, it looks like. And oh, over here you can see the Gondor Spearmen as well as some Edhelm Men-at-Arms and some Haven Knights from Master Blaster marching over these bridges here. Going to be forcing Roger that and some other defenders over here to try to hold. You can see Neo Denolko is actually maybe going to have to commit his Warlords against the Haven Knights. Ooh, nice ballista hit there from Neo Denolko, sniping a couple of these Haven Knights there. And that's going to be very, very important because while the Warlords are very good, they're not melee cav. So they're probably going to end up losing against the Haven Knights if it was just a straight fight. However, it looks like Master Blaster is actually going to be pulling back them, although he's going to be taking some more losses to that ballista from his Haven Knights. You can see a lot of his Haven Knights just getting sniped like that. And again, because they don't really have the best attack over here, I think most of these Edhelm Men-at-Arms, as well as all these Gondor Spearmen, are going to get butchered pretty quickly, honestly, especially by things like Casimir's Legion, who just outclass them by miles. Like the Casimir's Legion against the Edhelm Men-at-Arms, that's like not even a fight at all. Actually, on the bridge here, you've got some Gondor Spearmen against Casimir's Legion, and again, Casimir's Legion outclassed the Gondor Spearmen, even upgraded by absolute miles. That's not even going to be a close fight. And oh, that ballista fire taking advantage of these closely blobbed Gondor Spearmen, taking out a pretty nice row of those Spearmen there. Score Garrison Archers, and it looks like this attack is going to be dealt with pretty quickly. However, over here, looks like they're starting to break through a little bit, but the Edhelm Men-at-Arms are going to take a lot of losses to these AP Naru, Billiger Halberds, and some Naru Sentinels. And up here, we've still got archers from Roger that, so any troops that decide to come across the bridge once again will take a lot of losses. However, we should go back over here now and see what's going on. Yeah, so over here, it's still looking pretty even. You can see the attackers are starting to make a little bit of headway, but over here, things are actually still looking okay for the defenders, and that is because they actually had committed their... Sin had actually committed his unit of Narnar Sentinels. However, they're kind of just walking around, unfortunately, not really being able to set up a good formation. And that may be down to the fact that there are a couple Haven Guard in the background just slicing them in the back here. So he may just want to rush these Casimir Legion in there just to try to deal with these Haven Guard that are behind his lines. And then you can see a lot of dead units over here, and that's because these crossbows are actually being able to arc a very nice shot through these columns here and just shoot right into all of these attacking units, as well as maybe some BP. I saw some Rangers around here firing, maybe? I take it back, it looks like not. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Sin of Dark Cloud's Rangers are also over here firing through these columns and be able to cause a lot of damage to all these units here. And again, these Haven Guard, man, just in the background, cutting down a lot of these pikemen from behind. So Sin is actually going to be committing his Castimir's Legion here, going to try to deal with those Haven Guard that are cutting his men down from behind. Tundra's Fox with some Carindle Swordmasters back here as well. And yeah, they're slowly making a little bit of headway over here. You can see the Sentinels, there's Legion, there's some Rangers in here as well. And the Talonites, if I can find them, a lot of them are dead now. There's only 9 in that unit. That's still the same unit. So yeah, there's not a lot of Talon Knights left over, but they were able to definitely break through that initial pike line. There's a lot of AP Black Swan Vanguard in here as well. Over here, looks like Sin is just going to commit this entire block of cheap pikemen as well as some more Castimir's Legion over here. And ooh, you can see those body-piercing arrows just flying through this entire row pretty much. We'll go back over here to the bridge and also see what's going on. Gondor Spearmen again getting butchered by those Castimir's Legion. Here's some Remscore Garrison Archers. And Tundra's Fox has got some Gondor Spears over here. Looks like Fallen Morning Star may actually be committing a few more units across this bridge. Looks like he is in fact maybe going to be rushing some Edhill Men-at-Arms as well as maybe some pikemen. They're just going to be sitting here at the end of the bridge. That's good, of course. But yeah, ooh, Haven Knights actually thinking about routing right there, fighting against all of these Legion and maybe some pikes as well. Thinking about routing. Not the best for Master Blaster. And in terms of percentage, it's 61 to 69, so it's still definitely a very close fight. I think we'll just kind of watch this fight for a little bit, because this is pretty much the only area where there is going to be a lot of fighting for the time being, that is. Now it's gonna be difficult, I think, for the attackers to break through this. There's a lot of good units around here. There's some Narunar Railguard, there's Sentinels, there's Legion, and over here, oh, look at this! With the advance of some more reinforcements from Sin, all of these attacking units have been pretty much butchered. There's not much left over here that can really cause a lot of damage. Looks like there's 5 Nimrodel Rangers from Master Blaster over here, and maybe try to get some shots off where they can. And on some lightly armored troops like the pikemen, they actually probably could do a decent amount of damage, honestly. Oh, here comes another unit, though, of Nimrodel Rangers, this time from Fallen Morning Star. Although it looks like they may be out of ammo. Some of them have swords out, some of them have bows out. Oh no. There goes a general from the Defenders. I believe that was probably... Sin's general was in the Warlords, so it's not his, but I'm assuming it must be Roger that, because he's got his Narunar Railguard in here. Donolko going to commit his crossbow Corsairs in the fight. It actually looks like these Nimrodel Rangers are out of ammo, so that's definitely good for the Defenders, because they could definitely cause some problems if they just like set up like right here and just fired down this whole line. That would really not be good. Donolko with some Sentinels marching up the hill, and yeah, now that they're just defending the actual bridges, the Defenders are going to be able to hold these bridges with a lot less than if they had actually just like had the whole thing out here. And there goes an admit defeat. I'm assuming that is from Yeet McGeet, because I don't see any other. Yeah, it's probably from Yeet McGeet, because he doesn't really have anything left over, of course. Besides, maybe he had some like random Knights of the Silver Swan. But yeah, down here in the city was actually quite simple, it looked like, or pretty easy for Donolko to win that fight against Dol Amroth. Wasn't super costly either, which is definitely good, because over here it's going to be kind of difficult. Oh, and there's the Ballista of Donolko still firing. Oh, there's only 17 men left in that Ballista crew. And ooh, yes, that Ballista is going to be able to cause a lot of damage to these troops if they don't go into loose formation. And yes, there goes Fallen Morning Star putting his troops into loose, because that Ballista would be able to cause a lot of damage to all these pikes and units like that. Over here and such, including Edhill Men-at-Arms, if he does not put them in loose formation. Over here, yeah, this bridge, oh my goodness, this is like the most horrific bridge ever, land bridge I should say. Another unit of both Talon Knights as well as Black Swan Vanguard being committed. So much Black Swan Vanguard and Talon Knights all across, but the attackers are definitely running out of steam. They're having to commit a ton of units, and you can see these defenders look like they're going to be able to hold strong. Probably for a decent amount of time, honestly. Pelican Marines trying to throw javelins, but not quite being able to do so. Over here is definitely where the defenders are weakest, so it definitely looks like where they're going to be committing their reinforcing units over here. However, it looks like most of Master Blaster's Haven Guard are dead. There's only 16 left. Yeah, honestly, the defenders may have to commit some more over here. And of course, just as I say, it looks like there are some Castamir's Legion, maybe some Corsair Pikemen making their way downtown over here to try to help out, because you can see on the both flanks of this pike block, they're kind of being folded a little bit. So they're going to have to commit some more stuff over here if they want to hold it. And that is in fact what they're doing with some Corsair Pikemen as well as some Castamir's Legion. But they're trying to rush their way over here as quickly as possible because they don't want to get broken through. And it's been a really, really gruesome fight so far, in all honesty. I've really enjoyed this one a lot. Pelargir Marines there. And there are still a few Haven Guard here and there. Getting some kills as well, but there's not a ton of them left over, so they will go down pretty shortly here. Over here, though, this unit of Haven Guard actually kind of breaking through the line. Looks like Sin of the Dark Cloud is not going to commit a unit over here. In fact, he's going to set up another defense right there, which is, again, probably going to be fine. Although he will maybe want to pull back his elites, like the Narunar Sentinels, who are still at 40, so they could still actually be very helpful. And there's Imrahil. I thought maybe might have just seen him get a kill. Oh, yeah, there goes that Castamir's Legion, but it was not by Imrahil, it was just by normal Haven Guard. And oh, look at that. Castamir's Rangers from Sin of the Dark Cloud have the perfect angle on all of these Talon Knights that are trying to flank around here, just to be able to fire directly down this whole line. That's going to be very, very deadly. Although here comes some Ramscore Garrison Archers from Tundra's Fox. He may be trying to sneak them around this flank just to try to silence those Castamir's Rangers, but we'll just have to see, I guess. Unfortunately, it looks like not all of that unit of Castamir's Rangers is firing. So, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to cause as much damage as they would maybe be able to do. But yeah, there goes the general from Master Blaster. But again, he has committed all of his stuff. He doesn't have a ton left either, so it's not going to be a huge deal, I would think, losing his general. Numenor and Lancers there, and oh, actually, it looks like the defenders have sallied forth. You've got some, over here we've got Castamir's Legion, and they were doing a good job of butchering these pikemen, but with the advance of some Haven Guard from Fallen Morning Star, these Castamir's Legion are going to come under some really bad struggle. Over here, though, we've got Castamir's Legion against pikes and men-at-arms. You can see they're butchering the men-at-arms, but against the pikes, they will start to struggle. Over here, we've got some Gondor Spears stopping the advance of Nilko's Warlords. But honestly, it might have been a little bit too ambitious to sally forth here, because they're going to take a lot of losses. These Castamir's Legion in particular will get butchered by those Haven Guard. And here comes some Fountain Guard. Yeah, both units of Fountain Guard from Tundra's Fox are still alive. And these guys are going to be really difficult to deal with, I think, later in the game. Yeah, so far been a really, really nice fight. I think I've really enjoyed this one a bunch. It's been really, really fun. Yeah, you can see, I might have to take a screenshot of that. The Haven Guard's butchering those poor Castamir's Legion. We're actually going to be trying to pull back here. And you can see the defenders still have units back here. They're probably just trying to be a little bit aggressive there, trying to kill some units. But they've definitely still got stuff back here that can defend these bridges. Meanwhile, we'll go up here and see how things are going. This defense is starting to get a little bit broken down. You can see they don't have as much quality over here. They've got some archers, they've got some sentinels, and they've got a little bit of legion in here, but they don't have a ton. And you heard that there goes one of the defending armies down to only half men remaining. And there's the Castamir's Rangers trying to do something. And it's unfortunate they're really not being able to fire, because you could see this line right here would be excellent to fire with the Castamir's Rangers. And yeah, that's definitely what he's trying to do, but looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty with it, just with maybe some weird little bugs. Since they are firing a few at a time now, which will be nice. And be able to cause some good damage over here. And you can see he's actually trying to allow this gap to be made because he knows that these customers' ranges will be able to cause so much damage. So that is why he's actually set up his pikemen back here rather than elsewhere. Numenor Lancers actually taking some losses to some javelins from the Pelagri Marines. So that may be the end of those Lancers. They're going to try to get a good AP charge off into the flank here. Ooh, saw that Talonite fly into the air. The javelin's actually doing a pretty good amount of damage to these Lancers here. Yeah, these Rangers going to be very, very nice at dealing with these units over here. Just over time, they'll be able to cause a lot of damage and maybe even be able to win. There's still an Nothian Honor Guard. There's still both units of Found Guard. But overall, the attackers, they're not looking super, super great. You can see their Fallen Morning Stars maybe going to commit another unit of Pikes. They've still got a decent amount of Archers. They've got some elites here and there. They've still got some Haven Guard. Or Haven Knights, rather. And over here, looks like, yeah, these Casimir's Legion going to be trying to pull back and not wanting to take any more losses. Haven Guard over here at 39. Ooh, yes. The Found Guard are actually getting targeted right now by the Ballista. And that is going to be very, very good if the Ballista can actually fire at them. You can see it's actually marching right now, which is kind of unfortunate because... okay, unfortunately, yeah, it looks like... well, unfortunately for the defenders, that is. Looks like Turner's Fox didn't notice that he was getting targeted by the Ballista. Which is kind of unfortunate, because that would have been really juicy to see those Found Guard get killed by the Ballista, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to see that right now. However, we've got some Sentinels marching forward. I don't know about this kind of aggressive play from the defenders. I'm not sure if I really like that. I mean, it could work. I just don't think it'll be that... I don't know if there's great chances of it working. There's the Ballista firing. Ooh, hitting some of those pikemen, but unfortunately missing the Haven Guard, because you really want to be targeting the Haven Guard. The pikemen aren't that big of a deal, but you really want to be targeting elite units like the Haven Guard, maybe even the Carringer Swordmasters, and definitely you want to target these Found Guard, who again are not in loose formation, so he could fire down this entire like row of Found Guard here, deal a lot of damage, but unfortunately he's not going to do that at the moment. Haven Guard of Fallen Morning Star going to be trying to retreat here. Don't want to take losses to that Ballista. See, most of the Alliance forces are actually going into loose formation now. Yes, I sincerely, sincerely hope that Neodonilko will take advantage of these Haven Guard being in tight formation here and try to shoot at them with his Ballista. It is firing. Please shoot at the Found Guard. It would be so nice to see some good artillery hits. I mean, even more, we've had a bunch of good artillery hits, but it'd be nice to see some more. It's firing. I'm hoping it won't be targeting the Haven Guard because they're in loose formation. They won't take a lot of losses to that. I'm hoping it either targets the Spearmen and definitely the Found Guard because those are the ones where it'll actually cause damage because they're not in loose. Oh. Ooh. Only taking out two Found Guard, unfortunately. You can see they're actually kind of hitting that bridge there. But we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But for now, we'll go back over here to the actual fight. Oh, Nimlothian Honor Guard being committed. And again, there's not a ton of defenders over here, but nor are there a lot of attackers. This attack is starting to falter a little bit, but with the advance of some Dornhill pikemen, we may be able to keep up the pressure here even more. But again, we've actually got some Warlords of Umbar charging to the flanks of all these units here, and with no spears, that's actually going to cause a lot of damage. And those Casimir's Rangers were able to do a bunch of damage as well, although it looks like they're now out of ammo. So things looking a little grim, I would say, for the attackers. Warlords of Umbar getting targeted by the javelins, and if Sin's not careful, he could lose his general from those javelins. But you can see the Warlords of Umbar with their AP charge, and of course being knights, they have a really deadly charge. With their AP Lancer charge, they're going to be causing a lot of damage to these elites like the Talon Knights and Haven Guard and such things. We'll go back over here. Oh no, it looks like we did miss a pretty decent hit from the Ballista on the Found Guard. Looks like it killed like 8 or so maybe. Where are they, Found Guard? I don't even know where they went. They're just gone. They didn't push, did they? No, they didn't push. I actually have no... He's actually not even using fire ammo anymore, which is kind of interesting. Huh. I have no idea where those Found Guard went. What? Okay. Oh, they're actually back here. Okay. They're back here. They're down to 54, so he'd lose about 20 of them, which is not good, because they will be able to really cut their way through most of the Umbar roster. I don't even know what happened to his other unit of Found Guard. I thought he had 2. But I don't even know where that other one is. But yeah, over here, this attack is going to be defeated in just a relatively short amount of time, especially with some warlords here in the back. Going to be able to cycle charge around wherever they want, really. Although he's going to have to be quick about it, because there are the Nimlothian Honor Guard here, and the Found Guard are coming. Oh, and here comes some Haven Knights, so this may be the end of Sin's general if he's not careful. He's going to have to try to he's going to have to try to sneak them back somewhere, but he can't really do that through the way he came, because here are the Nimlothian Honor Guard. And yeah, oh no, this may be the end of Sin's general here. Going to try to get one last charge into these pikemen and cause as much damage as possible. And you can see they're really just mowing their way through the back of those pikemen, but if the pikes turn around, they will take losses. Yeah, here comes the 5 Haven Knights. Oh! No way! There's like 45 of these Nimlothian Honor Guard left, and it just so happened that these Warlords of Umbar were able to kill the Gondor general. That is not good for Gondor, not at all. Yeah, Sin's gonna have to try and pull some tricky micro here to be able to actually salvage this situation and actually be able to get his general to survive. There's these 5 Haven Knights from Fallen Morning Star, and I thought I saw some more. Oh, I guess I was wrong about that. I thought I saw Master Blasters in here as well. And there's the Found Guard 54, and oh, it looks like, yes, it looks like Sin may very well be able to get his general out of this fight here, although he's actually instead going to cause some damage trying to charge at the back of these units. But here comes the Nimlothian Honor Guard. You can see there's the general right there, so he may be able to sneak by. And in fact, it looks like he is going to be able to make it back to the safety of his own lines. Wow, look at that. That is actually that was actually really lucky. Well, no, of course it wasn't just all luck. It was really good micro as well. But yeah, the Nimlothian Honor Guard don't have the numbers, I think, to break through here. I don't even think the attackers in general have enough to break through. I mean, maybe if they commit their Found Guard over on this side, they'll be able to cause a lot of damage, but they need to commit the Found Guard just somewhere. You can see they are doing that right now. But not looking super great for the attackers. Over here, we've got a big push from what the attackers have left. We've got pikes, archers, and talonites going to try to bust through the Castamir's Legion, who are trying to hold that bridge. Meanwhile, we've also got some Haven Guard fighting against some Naru and our Royal Guard. And while the Haven Guard are slightly outnumbered, they will be able to break through, I would assume, the Naru and our Royal Guard. However, with the advance of some Corsair Fencers and the support of these Castamir's Legion back here, I think the Haven Guard will go down pretty quickly. There are still some Tarnostian Lancers from Fallen Morning Star back there. There's some pikes over here. Here comes some Abrazan and Narduza Guard coming forward to help hold the bridge with the Castamir's Legion. And I think it'll probably end in a victory for the defenders, but I'm not totally sure. We'll just end up having to we'll just have to see, because it's still close. I mean, there's still some really deadly units around here. You can see now that the Found Guard are backing up the pikemen. A lot of these Umbar units are going to go down really, really quickly, because the Fountain Guard are super, super deadly. But over here, as soon as these Haven Guard and Nimlothian Honor Guard and of course the Haven Knights are dealt with, all of these units will be able to come over here and surround the Fountain Guard, and that will very well may be the end of the attack. But still, really, really fun battle. And of course, I still don't know. I mean, I've never seen this replay before. I didn't like open it and watch it before, of course. That kind of ruins it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I of course don't know still. There are still these 5 Haven Guard from Master Blaster. They've been getting poked by these Naru Sentinels like for so long. Nimlothian Honor Guard, though, still not going to go down very easily either. Very, very defensive unit. There are AP spears as well, but with that -4 malice against infantry, they're not going to be getting too many kills, honestly. But back here, the Haven Guard managing to sneak through the lines and get into the back of these Castamir's Rangers. Although if the Numenorean Lancers and 2 Warlords of Umbar want to, they could probably go over there and help out, but you want to be careful because that is Sin's general over there. But yeah, the Nimlothian Honor Guard, they are AP elite spears, but again, like all spears, they've got a -4 malice against infantry, so they're really not going to be getting really very many kills. Again, they're like most of the Gondor units that can take a hit but can't really give one in return. However, Haven Guard still going around it. Yeah, I can see Sin going to be noticing this with his cavalry now, going to be trying to chase them down. Ooh, nice charge of those Castamir's Rangers, though. And this is going to be close, because, again, the Haven Knights are very, very good melee cav. There's only 4 of them left, but if the Lancers are able to get a good charge off, they will be able to defeat them. However, you have to be careful because this is Sin's General's unit. And oh, look at this. The Haven Guard, or the Fountain Guard and the Pikemen being able to break through here. And actually, oh no, the rear charge from the Haven Knights actually going to be enough to rout some of these defending units. Although they might have just instantly regained their courage. I don't know what. I thought I saw something routing. Oh yeah, these Abrazan and Ardubali were routing. So just like that, this attack has managed to break through. And this fight over here is still not finished. And oh, looks like there's actually been an advance from some Carringer Swordmasters. So just like that, where the defenders had just a moment ago been looking pretty good, with those 5 Haven Knights just constantly cycle charging, it looks like this defense up here may end up actually being defeated. However, here are some 23 Warlords of Umbar, and over here this attack is really not doing too hot. You can see all of these units getting kind of cut down. There's still 31 Talonites, but still. Over here, Naran Royal Guard getting cut to pieces by the Haven Guard, but there are some more units back here to help them out, so the Haven Guard will go down. Over here, there's only a few Spearmen, and there's plenty enough to deal with what's over here. In addition, there's also some Harbingers of Castamere, some Castamere's Rangers, and Neodonolko still actually has a pretty big portion of forces back here. Actually, looks like Sin has got some Corsair Blackguards running around back here. Oh, this is what happened. Okay, I was wondering what happened to Tundra's Fox's second unit of Fountain Guard, and it looks like this is where it is right now, trying to maybe flank around. But here comes Sin's Blackguard to try to jab them to death. And of course, this is getting pretty close to the end of the replay. So Tundra's Fox may be kind of desyncing pretty shortly here, but we'll just have to see how that happens, or see how that goes. But yeah, over here, it looks like with that route, the attackers are going to be able to bust through here. Yeah, look at that, and the Ternosian Lancer's going to get cut down by all those piking here, but just like that, looks like it's getting a lot closer all of a sudden, 84 to 94. Ooh, it's getting really close, especially with these Fountain Guards still around. The Fountain Guard's super, super, super deadly. So it looks like this defense up here is going to be pretty much dealt with, honestly. And now I am assuming that the attackers, or the defenders rather, are going to let the attackers march down here, because if they let the attackers march down here, they'll be able to use units like the Warlords of Umbar and such more useful. Well, units like the Warlords of Umbar will be more useful down there. Sorry, I was like listening to the announcer, but also trying to speak, and it just did not work out well for me. However, over here, Dorian Pikemen thinking about routing. The Talonites still holding on pretty strongly, but they're going to be getting cut down probably in not too much longer. And over here, yeah, the Haven Guard's getting surrounded. Only 14 of them left. And over here, yeah, the Gondor Spearmen going to be able to hold a little bit better against things like the Crossbow Corsairs and the Belegar Archers, but I still think they'll probably end up losing this fight because they're so outnumbered. There's still those 20 Harbingers of Castamere, but if something like the Fountain Guard attacks them, they don't have the reach to deal with the Fountain Guard. Blackguards still have ammo, of course, because they were trying to chase down the Fountain Guard. Fountain Guard are now going to be pulling back, because yeah, these Fountain Guards super, super deadly, and they'll be able to really eat their way through things like Castamere's Legion and such. Yeah, honestly, maybe you want to get some Warlords of Umbar around the bridge and just try to cycle charge into the back of units like the Talonites who are over here still trying to be a nuisance. But up here, yeah, the attack was actually successful. The advance of some Fountain Guard as well as some Carringer Swordmasters looks like it's going to be enough to, well, as well as, of course, the Mothian Guard, who are now down to only 6. Yeah, with all these advancing forces, or reinforcements, it looks like the attack was able to be successful. On this side, anyway, that is, of course. But, oh, this was just such a horrendous fight on this land bridge. It was just so, so deadly. Really, really back and forth as well. I think there's still 4 Tarnosian Lancers over here as well. And yeah, the last of these Castamere's Legion, as well as maybe some Pikemen and our Royal Guard trying to do their bit. But yeah, over here, these units are now surrounded. Of course, our Pikemen are probably going to rout. Our Sentinel's going to try to hold for as long as they can, but they will get defeated pretty shortly here. I'll go back over here now, though. Warlords of Umbar, still 23, very healthy. But again, they're going to be kind of useless against something like Fountain Guard. Over here, Haven Guard down to 6. That was a pretty gruesome fight, honestly. And over here, the Spearmen thinking about routing, but again, being Spears, they're going to be able to hold for a while. Going to take a lot of hits before going down. And over here, it's basically just, yeah, you can see a lot of these Talon Knights are now dead. There's only 6 left. There's only 12 of these pikemen left, so... Ugh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. The defenders don't have a ton left over. But, ooh, here comes a pretty actually, it looks a completely fresh unit of Corsair Fencers, as well as some Castamers Legion maybe going to be rushing up this hill. Oh, it's into the Dark Cloud's Corsair Blackguards up here, and I think these guys still have ammo. So they're obviously going to be trying to target the Fountain Guard, who are just kind of standing here, trying to deal with the last of these units. So if Sin wants, yeah, he's going to be able to... Oh no, these poor Fountain Guards. This must be when Tundra is desync, because I don't think he would allow his Fountain Guard just to get jabbed in the back like this. But still, you can see not a ton of these Fountain Guard going down at a time, but they're just going to be going down over time, because even their good armor isn't going to be able to stand up to those AP Javelins from the Blackguards. So you can see the Fountain Guard now down to only 24. Meanwhile, over here we've got some pikes, as well as the last of these Character Swordmasters trying to surround and deal with the last of these pikemen from Umbar. Yeah, there's another decent charge from the Tarnosian Lancers, but they're completely surrounded now. They're going to go ahead and rout. And there are still the Fountain Guard around here somewhere. Warlords Umbar at 23. I don't actually know where the Fountain Guard are. Actually, I think they might be back here. Yeah, the Fountain Guard back here. Yeah, this is definitely where he must have desynced, because they're just kind of standing here doing nothing. Still, though, I don't know if it would have mattered all that much, because the attacker or the defenders still definitely have a lot left over. So I don't know if it would have really mattered all that much. Gondor Spearmen at 26, Wavering Belegar Archers at 82, going to be enough to defeat them. And over here, the Haven Guard really did a nice job against all of these units, but they're going to be defeated. And up here will be the last stand of the attackers as the defenders rush their forces around here and try to deal with the last of them. Oriental Pikemen getting butchered here. They're probably going to end up actually routing. There's only 29 of them and they're wavering. So yeah, they're going to rout probably pretty shortly here. And over here, yeah, the Fountain Guard just standing here, so he definitely desynced. Fountain Guard at 24, just kind of standing in the catapult here. And yeah, same goes for the 39 Character Swordmasters, as well as the 5 Molecular Honor Guard. Yeah, just like that, it looks like this is going to be the end of the assault of Tol Falas. Umbar was able to hold on to Tol Falas, and both Gondor and Dol Amroth were not enough to thrust these pirates from their island kingdom. And yeah, here we go. Character Swordmasters getting butchered by the Corsair Fencers. Corsair Fencers, really unique unit, very deadly, and they are actually AP, which is makes them very nice against heavily armored units like most of the Gondor's roster. Yep, Oriental Pikemen routing, and the Harbingers of Castam are going to try to attack these Fountain Guard from behind. And it looks like all those units on the bridges were defeated, so I think I will just go ahead and speed it up at this point. But first I want to take a screenshot, because I can't not take a screenshot of Fountain Guard, I'm sorry, they look so good. However, I think I can go ahead and speed it up now. Last stand of these 70 Fountain Guard, and then, well, it's not 70, 21 Fountain Guard, and then the 70 Fountain Guard that are way back there. And so yeah, definitely a very close battle. I really enjoyed it. Again, big thank you to Sin of the Dark Cloud for sending it to me. And there goes someone admitting defeat. Looks like that maybe was Tundra's Fox? Nope, it was not Tundra's Fox. So the Fountain Guard are actually moving now, but it's a little bit too late. Here's Newton Ulko's. Oh, he's charging his Warlords into the Fountain Guard. That's not going to be really great. Fountain Guard have a very good bonus against cavalry. Plus they have the Phalanx formation, so charging into that is not going to be the best thing in the world. And yeah, here come all of the defending forces. And honestly, these Castamers Legion, although they are full health, they will really take a lot of losses to these Fountain Guard. Fountain Guard's super good, especially in chokes like this where they aren't getting actually surrounded. So you can see those Castamers Rangers getting butchered, and Legion will probably follow suit pretty shortly here. However, here comes some units to surround, as well as just more and more Umbar forces, so these Fountain Guard will unfortunately not be enough to salvage this attack. There goes Sin's cavalry into the back of the Fountain Guard there. Here comes Nidolko's in the front. Not probably going to be the best move there, but yeah. Fountain Guard, very good. very good unit. Still, they're actually shaken now that the Gondor General is dead. These guys are not immune to routing. They do not have locked morale, so they can rout. Here's some Blackguards around the flank. Maybe going to try to throw some javelins at them, or just surround them. And yes, this will be the end of the assault of Tol Falas. Fountain Guard actually wavering there, and they actually did break. But they're fighting to the death, so I guess that's cool. Yeah, that'll be the end of this video. yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy. You can see the most kills went to Roger that with 2,300, Sin of the Dark Cloud had 2,100, and Neo Denolko had 2,035. The most kills for the attackers went to Tendo's Fox with 1,300. Let's take a quick look at the exact kills. Naru and Naru Royal Guard doing well. The Naru Sentinel is doing very, very well. Shield Guard also doing not too bad. This is for Roger that, of course. And the Castmir's Legion, one getting 237 kills, the other one's not doing super great. Nardu Tarek didn't do bad either. His Rangers got 193 kills. Pardon me. Nardu Bob got 142 actually. Blackguard's getting 121 and 131. Sin of the Dark Cloud. Most kills for him went to maybe the Naru Sentinels for 216. No, take it back. Crossbow Corsairs got 283 kills, and the Rangers actually got 299 kills. Some very good skirmishing there from Sin. Oh, Catapult actually got 317 as well, so Catapult got a lot of kills early on, but not so much later once it, of course, ran out of ammo. And then Neo Denolko had some nice kills as well, 254. So all three units of the Naru Sentinels from all three Umbar forces did very, very well. Belagear Halberds didn't do bad either. Crossbow Corsairs, Belagear Archers actually got a decent amount of kills as well. And Ballista got 118, Warlords got 136. Yeah, that'll pretty much be the end of this video. Again, big thank you to Sin of the Dark Cloud for sending this replay to me. And so I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next one. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.